So I found this post on the Pokey Investing subreddit that I wanted to share with you all. Here, somebody has noticed something interesting about the price of the Prismatic Evolutions ETB and the Destin Rivals ETB. They are the exact same price. So they're asking the question, which set is going to perform better long term? And I guess also, relative, these products, the ETBs, because obviously, Destin Rivals is a main set. There's a booster box, and Prismatic, there's not a booster box. So they're just making this comparison between the two products. And I'm actually quite surprised that, the Destin Rivals ETB is this expensive. But I do believe the reason it is this expensive is because it probably has not gotten any major restock or reprint. You guys know about a month ago or so, the Destin Rivals booster box got a restock on Pokemon Center, and it dropped like about $100 or something like that. It dropped quite a bit. The Destin Rivals booster box dropped while the ETB has gone up in value. So I must assume that there has been no major restock of this product, and hence why it's gone up. But like I mentioned, Destin Rivals, it being a main set and there being a booster box, it is very still quite interesting that the ETB is as expensive as Prismatic Evolutions, because Prismatic Evolutions, this is like the top product in ETB, which is the most collectible or product for a specialty set, and they're the same price. So I think you guys probably are going to know my answer to this question, which set is going to perform better. You guys know my standpoint, but let's just see what this person has to say about which set is going to perform better. I know everyone assumes Prismatic will be more popular in the future, but considering Destin Rivals has a lot of great cards and way better pull rates, I wonder if it's going to outperform Prismatic long term and be more like Evolving Skies, which was never a special set. I'm skeptical special sets are as valuable investments as people think. So wanted to just mention a couple of things here before we go on to the data, and I give you guys my obvious take on this. But first, they say Destin Rivals has lots of great cards. Can't you say the same thing about Prismatic? Like, artwork is obviously very subjective, but they're saying that Destin Rivals has a lot of great artworks. Like, Prismatic doesn't have that, so maybe they're just biased and they don't like the Terra stuff. I don't know. That's the first thing. The second thing here, they say that's not true, is they say that it has way better pull rates. There's a huge misconception with Prismatic Evolutions having bad pull rates. If you look at the data, I know people's I guess experiences have been completely different. But if you look at TCG Player, and the sample size here isn't great, it's 1,200 packs. You can see the SIR pull rate is 1 out of 45 packs, which if you compare it to Destin Rivals, which the pull rate, the sample size is much bigger. It's about like 6 times as much as Prismatic Evolutions. The SIR pull rate is at double as hard as Prismatic Evolutions. So that pull rate thing is not true at all based on the data here. But I've opened Prismatic Evolutions myself. I don't know how many packs. I know it's not that many. I haven't pulled any SIR. And I think I've pulled maybe one Master Ball or something like that. So, that's been my experience. I don't know how many packs I opened. It hasn't been that much, but I know people have opened like hundreds of packs and they don't pull a single SAR. But the data shows that the Prismatic Evolutions, the pull rate is not as bad as some people make it out to seem. I guess just getting to the actual question here, which set is going to perform better long term? Now, before I give you guys, like I said, my obvious take here, let's just look at the data here. So first, you can see the Prismatic Evolutions ETB is actually a little bit more than what they list here at 121. It's actually at like 130, and the Destin Rivals ETB is at around like 125. So I mean, we're talking about like a $5 difference. It's not really a big deal. So what do I think? I mean, obviously, look here. I don't even have to speak or say anything. Look at the total set values. That's all you have to say. I mean, even besides even trying to go into other factors like artworks, cards, popular Pokemon, just look at the total set value. Prismatic Evolutions is going to perform better. But now, after just looking at the total set value and, obviously seeing Prismatic Evolutions, how much more expensive it is, look at what Prismatic Evolutions has to offer. I know people's opinions about the tarot cards, about the artworks, I know people have biased opinions, but okay, this set has all the evolutions in SIR form, God packs. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, how would this set perform bad? The Roaring Moon's pretty popular too. The artwork. There's what 30 plus SIRs in here. So I mean, there's a lot of cards you can pull in here of the highest. Well, I guess not the highest rarity anymore of, but because there's the MURs, but the SIRs. This has the most SIRs I believe in any set. I believe that to be the case. I don't think any set has 30 plus SIRs to my knowledge. Prismatic Evolutions is just a very valuable set. It has the evolutions, and obviously the top chase card being over $1,000, and it's this era's version, or I keep saying this era, but it's Mega Evolution era, but I guess Scarlet and Violet, era, kind of the Moonbryon of the Scarlet and Violet era. I really don't see how anyone would really argue that Prismatic Evolutions would perform worse than Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals has cool artworks, like don't get me wrong, obviously it has the Team Rocket aspect to it, so that nostalgia factor. But I mean, the top chase card is half the value of the Umbreon. And you look at all the other cards here, I mean, there's still, multiple cards in the like hundreds of dollars. But when you look at Prismatic Evolutions, it's, there's just a lot more value you can get, obviously, because the pull rates are harder, or I guess the specific SR rate for this set is, more difficult than Destined Rivals because it has more SIRs than Destined Rivals. Destined Rivals will perform extremely well. The booster box, is, still pretty expensive. It's around $400. Destined Rivals is definitely going to be, a great set. I've put it up there in terms of, best main sets. You could probably argue Destined Rivals is the best main set in Scarlet and Violet. Maybe you can argue Paldea Evolved, but I think a lot of people would probably put Destined Rivals as the top main set of Scarlet and Violet. It's definitely going to perform, good in the long term, obviously, but Prismatic, especially if you're considering, okay, if you're going to invest into one of these products because they're the same price, I would go with the Prismatic ETB all day long. I mean, you guys know this. The Destined Rivals ETB, if you even compare it to the booster box, I don't know if you do the price per pack, how that turns out, but this, all you got to know is like this price has gone up, since being released basically, and the booster box has gone down because of the restock. So really want to buy this right now. If you had to pick between the two, I would choose Prismatic, but I think that was an obvious choice coming here from me. But let's just read some of the comments here and see what people say. Do they think Prismatic is going to perform better or Destined Rivals? I asked my 8 and 10-year-old plus their 2 friends. They all prefer Prismatic box. They know nothing about pull rates or anything, just purely based on what they would enjoy receiving as a gift for Christmas. This is the objective, non-biased data I've been looking for. My daughter and niece say the same thing. I mean, I think a big appeal obviously doesn't even take in consideration like the cards in the set. Look at the box design. I know, obviously, the Destined Rivals box looks cool, has the Team Rocket R in the background, but something about the Eevee with the crown, some people don't like it, but it looks appealing, right? If you guys have ever seen a Prismatic Evolutions box like just in person, it looks appealing, right? The ETB is shiny. It's a good looking product, right? And you take that in consideration with the evolutions that are in the set, it's appealing to a lot of people. So I'm not that surprised that younger people would want the Prismatic Evolutions ETB. One box has a card worth $1,000 plus, and 10 other cards worth at least $100, and a handful double that. The other box has a card that's just under $500, 5 cards for $100 or more. Destined Rivals is a very good set overall, but when comparing it to one of, if not the best in Scarlet and Violet, it's going to have a hard time stacking up. Not to mention the existence of God Packs will always make Prismatic a naturally exciting set to open. I agree with everything there. Prismatic, 151 basically shows you the potential of special sets. I guess here they also said that they're skeptical about special sets. To be honest, I was the same way. I've kind of mentioned this previously as well. There's a big reason why, I didn't invest until 151 early on. Obviously, the market wasn't as crazy back then when 151 came out. ETBs were MSRP. But I wasn't as big on specialty sets as obviously I am now. And because there, I was still, sort of in the booster box mindset that was the best thing and I should just stick to that. And specialty sets back then, definitely, I think we're not seeing like how they are now. And I feel like a turning point of that is 151. So yeah, I mean, we've seen with 151 how expensive ETBs can get in a short period of time. When there's scarcity, people still buy them. Once they get more expensive, because I mean, 151 ETBs are $400 and people still buy them. So what do you guys think? I'm obviously picking Prismatic Evolutions over Destined Rivals as a set, and in between these two as an investment. Prismatic all the way. I think it's obvious to me, but tell me if you guys think Destined Rivals is the better investment and why, if you don't agree. But that's all I want to say in this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.